Hello everybody, Calvin Nation here today with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to remove your press fit pins out of your Balisong. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because, and maybe you can see here, my tang pin on my Benchmade Model 42 is extremely loose. I think that's happened fairly recently, but you can probably see there it is moving quite a bit. Sometimes it kind of gets locked in there, sometimes it doesn't, but you can see even on that side, there's barely any on there and more on that side. So I'm going to need to get that fixed, and now you guys might be thinking, well, just ship the whole Balisong out to Benchmade. Well, some of you probably know, or most of you probably know, that I am in Canada, so that is for sure not an option. Originally I thought Benchmade would not help me out on this, but and I don't know if I should be saying this, but Benchmade is being extremely awesome and being extremely gracious, and I emailed them, and they're gonna let me ship them just the blade. They're gonna fix the tang pin, and they're gonna ship it back. I emailed them through their website, and I didn't get a reply, and they're super busy, and getting a reply back is sometimes kind of rare. And they don't always answer your questions perfectly, so I went actually to their Facebook page and posted the same kind of email response there, just in hopes I could get a quick response from them, and they actually messaged me back very shortly, and they actually told me that they'd make an exception for me and let me ship out the blade, because cool thing is too, on the Facebook page I put that message down, and someone in the comment section posted, "Oh, you're Calvin Nation from YouTube. I love your videos." And I also mentioned in my little post that I never use my Balisong for EDC. I don't carry it. It's just primarily a flipper. So maybe they even checked out my channel, realized that I was legit and that I'm not, trying to bend any rules to harm anyone or anything. And I guess they're letting me ship it out. So at first I was thinking I was going to have to ship it out to a friend in the US, they're going to have to ship it out to Benchmade, get it shipped back to them and then back to me, and that's a huge hassle. So thankfully Benchmade is amazing, and they're letting me do what I'm doing here. So let's get on with the tutorial. I've been talking for a while, so let's get started with it. I actually saw kind of how to do this from a guy here on YouTube. I believe he was at the flipping arena, I'm not sure anymore. His name was Entropy Spigot, I believe, here on YouTube. He showed how to do this, and I'm going to show you it here again with commentary. Basically, the tools I have is just a Torx wrench. I believe it's a T8, I believe, to get these out, or a T7. I'll let you know later when I actually take those out. You're going to need those. You're going to need a piece of wood here that I just cut. So you can put this in here so you don't damage the knife, and you're going to need to drill a few holes. You only need one hole, but I drilled a few just in case I run into any complications, and I'll show you why we need all this as we get started. You're also going to need a vise. Now before I actually show you this method, there are a few methods to do it. I've seen people who literally just take the pivot screws out, put a punch inside, and just literally take a hammer and bang them out. I would think that's kind of could damage the knife a little bit easier than this process. I would stick to this way if you're going to try it. So, and this is actually the first time I'm ever going to do it, so hopefully I don't run into any complications. If I do, just bear with me. So basically what we're going to do, I'll try to keep it facing the camera, and I'm not going to be able to see what I'm doing here because I'm in front of the lens. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to have this piece of wood. You're going to want to cut your wood and size it and place the holes to a point where it lines up with this section of the vise or below. You don't want it above because that's just going to probably cause complications. I actually did just get it right on here, so that works out perfectly. And I have this little bit as well. This is actually just a hex bit, I believe, for a tool set kit. I'm going to use this as the punch. Hopefully it will fit. I brought another one, I think. that is smaller, just in case it doesn't fit. But that's what we're going to be putting in the pivots once we take the screws out. So you're also again going to need your Torx set, and I think, let's see what, I believe, oh, maybe it's actually T9 it might be for these. So you're just going to remove, I'm going to use this end. You're going to remove your pivot screws, just like so. And I did Loctite these just like a week before I realized the tang pin was loose, which sucks, because you know, it's a fair bit of time wasted doing Loctiting, since you have to wait that 24 hours and everything. Also, if you guys want actually, you know what, I know a lot of you guys want a Loctiting tutorial, so probably when I get my 42 back, or my blade back, I'll do a Loctiting tutorial as well. But there you see, there's the inside of the pivots. Just looking at it now, I don't think my little punch is going to fit. No, dang it. So, you know what, I'm going to turn off the camera for a second and just get one that'll fit. Hold on for one moment. Okay, so here we go. Here is my new punch. Basically what I did was I just cut a tip off a nail and rounded the tip just a little bit. This is a pretty old nail, and it actually doesn't fit perfectly. I mean, it goes in, but it does rest up slightly against the threads. I just want to make sure I don't wiggle that around too much to destroy the threads inside that pivot. So from here, what we're going to do is we're basically just going to line up the pivot pin here, any one of them to start off with the hole in the wood there. You can probably just see the pivot pin at the bottom there, right there, and we're just going to line that up. We're going to place that in your vise here. Just again, make sure that hole is lined up with your pivot, and you're just going to tighten your vise. Just make sure one more time. Okay. Oh. There we go. So I just pressed right until it released pressure, and I'm not sure how pressurized the pins are, but they're in there good. I mean, it takes a couple rotations to knock those pins out, but there's your first pin. That is our bite, or our safe handle pin right there. So just in case you're wondering, that's what they look like, and because you can tell why they're press fit there, you can kind of see the little ridges. I believe those ridges are what keep them in. They're kind of forced right into the pivot, keeping it in, and you need the same pressure they put the pivots in to take them out. So there's our first pin, and here's the handle of the 42. It's amazing how light it feels when it's on its own. But yeah, there's the 42's handles. Actually, crap. I wasn't too careful there. I forgot about the washers. Shoot. Okay, good. They're on the blade there, so there you can see the washers. And I'm definitely going to clean this off before I get that blade back in, and we are simply just going to do the same thing to the bite handle. So, got a little piece of Loctite on there. So yeah, just do the same thing. Put that punch in there. Make sure it's all the way at the bottom of the pivot. Line up that hole once again. I hope this one goes just as well, since actually, I'm going to go this way so the blade isn't facing down. And sorry if this goes off camera, I'm just going to get this one out because you guys kind of saw how the first one went out, I'm sure. Okay, that one kind of popped out. And you know what? If it looks like a rough process, that's because it is. There is no real precise way of taking this out. But there you go, there's my blade. I am going to just quickly take off those washers. There you go. I'll just show you how tiny those are too. Very small washers. Some people I have heard replace these with the PB washers, the phosphorus bronze or whatever. But there you go. There's the Benchmade Model 42 taken apart completely. Let's just move some of these things to the side here. Okay everybody, so I just moved everything aside just for a quick second so we could have a closer look on all the separate pieces. Here again we have the pivot screws, the pivot pins, the bite handle, the safe handle, the 4 washers, and the blade. So hopefully that helps for anyone who actually does need this tutorial. I know for me personally, I am in a pretty unique situation where I kind of need to do half the work to actually get the tang pin replaced. I'm sure not too many people are in the same situation, but I have heard requests of people wanting this tutorial, so hopefully for anyone who happens to want to see a video like this, hopefully it helps. I know for me it was definitely a hard process, especially since this is the first ever time I've done it, and I did it on camera, and doing it on camera is always a little bit harder, as well as for this specific process that I did, you can only do it once, there's no turning back, so hopefully that everything I did on camera was fairly easy to see and fairly easy to follow. I always find it funny there how you can see it's almost like there's permanent washers on there. That is just wear from the washers. The washers are obviously just right over there again. But yeah, that's the tutorial. So hopefully it helped. Too bad for me that there was wear on the tang pin. Don't think for a second that this is Benchmade's fault. From the very beginning, my tang pin was, very well put in there. You can see there's a significant amount of wear, and that is due to wear. So that's it. Not Benchmade's fault. It's just because I flipped it so many times, and it's going to happen. I know a lot of guys tang pins who've fallen out, and that's just the way it goes. So hopefully this helped. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care. See you later.